Off to a great start. Okay, muted. Off to a great start. Um, okay. See. Okay, off to muted. Once again, at least with this mic over here. Oh, we're already off to a fantastic start, ladies and gentlemen. Um, 1 second. Let's see if it this time. Okay. Well, looks like my mic decided. Looks like my mic decided tonight of all nights was going to. Looks like tonight of all nights, my mic decided to go off on me. So, all right. Let's see if it gets. Let's see if it gets back here. Okay. Not fantastic. Not fantastic. All right. Okay, guys. The mic is not being fantastic right now. Yeah, it's my other mic. My computer mic is what I'm talking through right now. The mic I usually use has decided not to work. So, all right. Let's let's see what we can. Okay. Of course. Oh man, this did not quite go.
Yeah, they can still hear you,
Yeah,
so
I
that's
know.
a plus.
Yeah, I know. It's just,
Hmm.
it's just not optimal. Sorry guys. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Oh, we're good. We're good. We're back. Okay, we are. Oh, and my camera decided to go out. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh man, everything is.
Yeah, because they know it means we mean business here, Pat. That's why wants to try and bundle our pans.
Yeah, my computer. Okay, Okay, so my mic is not working, so that's not well. My mic is working, but oh, that's not fantastic. My camera is on. It's just not on OBS. So, all right. You guys can hear me though, right? You guys can hear me.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Everyone in the audience, you can hear me. Okay. All right. What we'll do is, I hate to do this, but we'll have to just do this probably without the camera, unless it decides to get its act together. So, yep. Okay. Cool. All right. So with that delayed, what is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor, and for the first time since 2021, we are not doing a live stream with a face cam. I'd love to, but OBS will shut down and end the stream if we do that. So the show must go on. But I will go ahead and give you a little consolation prize because I'm sure a lot of you are staying up extremely late to watch this. So I'll give you a nice little consolation prize for this right here. Let me go ahead and put my Discord in full screen. Hello. You guys can see me. You're just not going to see me for the rest of the stream. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a big night tonight, so the show must go on. Let's get right into the weather. I have a few people who are here to talk about Invest 90L, starting off with LTW. LTW, say hello.
Hello there.
We have Trevor. Trevor, say hello once again.
Hello.
And for the first time on Pat's Path Predictor, we have a gentleman by the name of Logan Rounds. Logan, say hello to the audience.
What's up, everybody? Let's get that turned around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hey,
so
does that.
Okay, so now that we've introduced everybody, for those of you who do not know, Logan actually helped out David Schlotthauer during Hurricane Melissa. He's actually really good with tropical stuff, and he volunteered to come on the show tonight, so we're going to go ahead and do that with him. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and shift over to the Firefox screen that I have. Say goodbye to my ugly-ass face right here for a little while. So... Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I still believe my camera did that.
Okay, so that's what we got going on right here. Let's go ahead and move on to what we have tonight. We have Invest 90L. The convection over the last few hours has really started to ramp up. It's really started to explode in intensity. This is expected to cross the Rio Grande River by tonight, and it looks like it's veering well to the east into parts of southern Texas, expected to potentially hit into enter the Gulf in the next little while. So that expedition position done. We're going to go ahead and go to this right here. This is our NHC advisory. They've really ramped up the chances over the last 12 hours. This morning it was at 20:30 when I recorded my video for today. But now we're up to a 50-50 shot of development. And I'm not saying 50-50 in terms of coin flip. I mean 50 in 48 hours, 50 in 7 days. So let's go ahead and read this out, and we'll talk about what may be happening in the next few days. A trough of low pressure located over northeastern Mexico continues to produce a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Development is not expected during the next day or so, while the trough remains inland. However, the system could reemerge over the northwestern Gulf late Tuesday or Wednesday, and environmental conditions are marginally conducive for the formation of a short-lived tropical storm on Wednesday into Thursday. Regardless of tropical cyclone formation, interests across southern eastern Texas and portions of Louisiana and Mississippi should prepare for periods of intense rainfall over the next several days, which could produce widespread, life-threatening flash urban and river flooding. Gusty winds and coastal flooding are also possible along portions of the northwestern Gulf Coast, and tropical storm watches or warnings could be required on Tuesday. Additional information on the system can be found with your NWS or NHC key messages. 50% chance in the next 48 hours and in the next 7 days. So with that all nice and dandy, we have our satellite data right here from Tropical Tidbits. But I also like to go ahead and use other data like DAPIA. So let's go ahead and use DAPIA. By the way, if you guys remember from last year and 2024, seizure warning to those prone to flashing lights. I know it's very high tech, but unfortunately, it does have a bit of flashing lights. So this is the situation that we got for you guys right here. As you can see, it's kind of entered the next sector as it is moving through parts of northeastern Mexico and southern Texas. Now, to the callers that we have right here, overall, first glance at this, what are your guys' thoughts? And I'll go ahead and share my screen so you can see what I'm seeing as well. Overall, first impression, what are your thoughts on Invest 90L?
I would say it's going through some explosive intensification because previously they have it at 15 knots, but with an explosive intensification like this just supports a stronger and more intense storm than expected.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this. I know this is not about tropical, but it's still very major, impactful thing. There was just at 11:27 p.m. That's an EST time, which is 13 minutes ago.
Okay.
A 6.8 magnitude earthquake hit the island, the central island of Indonesia.
Oh wow.
The Tua Wesi Island.
Oh wow. Yeah. So yeah, I remember when I remember what last time Weather Center is. I remember when Weather Center Nazario talked about tropics. There was also that earthquake that hit Cuba as well. Definitely an interesting point for sure. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for that. That's some pretty interesting news. Thank you, LTW, for that. But right now, our main focus is on Invest 90L, and to a lesser extent,
thought that was important.
And to a lesser extent, the day 3 severe weather risk that's also going to be going on this week as well. So ultimately, that's what we're dealing with right here, and we are we are seeing a lot of people coming into the stream already. 78 concurrent viewers, maybe even more than that. Be sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you are new. The goal, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather. But yes, we are off to a pretty booming start right here. So overall, first impression of 90L, whoever was speaking on that, please continue.
Yeah. Like I was mentioning with the explosive intensification, I actually did some calculations and estimate about 30 miles an hour of wind, given the explosive CDO that is recently, or CDO-like appearance, I should say, that has appeared on satellite imagery.
Okay.
It is unknown if it is a CDO, just given the fact it's not considered a tropical system just yet. But I'm calling it a CDO just because you got a large area of very dense overcast clouds, which is what a CDO stands for.
Sure.
And it encompasses about half of the system, if not more. It's just hard to tell because we have no clue where our low pressure is actually centered.
All right.
Yeah, I mentioned this before. Because it's over land. And if you know the terrain of Mexico, correct me if I'm wrong. There is like valleys and mountains within Mexico and maybe southern Texas, which can cause like some pressure differential. Like for example, one part could be see like 1,009, or one part could be 1015 or 1012. We just don't know until like it emerges off the coast to get a defined, you know, defined pressure.
And for reference for everyone else that is watching right now, our current best observations are 20 miles an hour or 15 knots, and an observed pressure estimated of 1,009 millibars as of the latest observation.
But that's in Texas.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with it. Where in Texas is that? Is that along the Rio Grande River?
Just to the north of Rio Grande.
Yeah.
I'm guessing like that's like McAllen or somewhere.
Yeah, right around there would probably be a good estimate.
Okay, cool.
Oh, by the way, Severe Weather Center sent something in the live stream stage VC.
Let me take a quick. Okay, all right. Let me take a quick gander at this. Oh, that's live, no mic. Let me see the chat. Okay, I know. Yeah, I'll go ahead and bring them and Earth Central on to talk about this because I'm sure they'd like to add some input to this.
Yeah, I definitely do. But first, I just got alerted on a 6.7 that hits
yeah, we
Indonesia.
just brought that up. We just talked about it. Yep.
Okay.
We just talked about it. Our main focus is on Invest 90L for right now. But yeah, you guys are on the air. First of all, say hello to the audience and give your overall thoughts on what you guys are seeing with Invest 90L.
Right now.
Okay, with what I'm seeing right now, the center of 90L, or at least the MCV portion, looks to be just around San Isidro, Texas, just northwest of McAllen.
Okay.
About 30, 40 miles northwest.
All right.
Okay.
There's definitely a pretty strong circulation there.
Can I say something?
Oh,
yep.
I'm gonna discard that for a second. That is not a MCL right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor. Do you have more to add? I can pause the radar satellite loop if you want to analyze or talk a little bit further.
So going off the radar site and I can't remember the radar site because one of them's down.
Let me see real quick. I'm on radar scope right now.
I think that's the Brownsville.
No, Brownsville is out.
Brownsville is back up.
Brownsville's fine.
Back up.
Yep.
It's back up.
Yep, I'm looking at it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead.
Our Corpus Christi, sir. That is not. It's not spinning.
All right.
I'll just be honest. It's not.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Anyway, that's all I got to say for this.
Hold on. I'm looking at this a little bit. I'm looking at the San Isidro stuff. Trevor, I'm actually gonna pull this up on the Discord stream so you guys can take a look at this and the Pat's Path Predictor stream as well. I have this. Oh, there's my face once again. Yeah, the camera's a little bit cooked, so we'll go ahead. But yeah, I have that pulled up. I'm gonna pull this up on the Discord for you guys as well because I was looking at this just a second ago. I want Trevor's opinion on this real quickly.
Your mic is having a weird watery effect.
Yeah, we're starting to lose you. Oh, we can't hear you now.
Your mic just offed itself.
Okay, it offed. That's cool. Fantastic. All right, get that fixed.
All right, we'll hear you again, please.
But yeah, do you guys see radar scope on here? You guys see it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it on my TV right now. That does have a little bit of a counterclockwise spin to it. It's very,
Trevor,
very.
Are you seeing this?
It's minimized. I can't see it.
Yeah, I definitely see it.
I could see it.
Yeah, that's. I wouldn't quite call that an MCV though. It's far too broad and it's not really clustering of storms.
No,
but
either.
For those out there, it's multi-convective vortex. For those who don't know, and what I'm looking here is just a generalized low pressure. It's got the counterclockwise spin. It's got your storms. You got a bunch of precipitation, and then satellite presentation tells me there's a CDO-like feature all present in a low pressure system like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. All right. So there's that.
Yeah.
So we got that happening.
Yeah, and then my thoughts on it is I totally see it going PTC1 as early as tomorrow night. Well, as late as tomorrow night.
Okay. Why do you suspect?
And honestly, like the 10 p.m. update tomorrow night. By then, it's just a matter of how soon it can get offshore to get better organized. But right now, my best bet in terms of analogies would be maybe like Bill 2015 or for sealing Barry 2019 in terms of landfall location and potential for a strength. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, cool. I would like to add on to what Earth Central has said, if that's all right.
Go for it.
Another analog worth looking at. Now, this one is only if this happens, is Allison of 2001, because there's the possibility of brown ocean effect, which is where a storm can intensify briefly over land if the area of land has enough moisture, enough atmospheric instability, and some external factors like a trough angle, which allows the storm to keep intensifying until the land interaction finally and the friction finally catches up to the storm and prevents any more intensification.
Yeah,
there's an example. There's an example of this. Hold on a second, LT. There's an example of this, and that would be Aaron in 2007.
Mm-hmm. And then also continuing on another thing that what Earth Central has said with the PTC or potential tropical cyclone 1, I do see that as well because the environment is in a favorable spot. The shear doesn't appear to be too intense. Your moisture is there. Your environment is pristine enough. Your Gulf has about an average temperature of 28.8 degrees Celsius, which is above the 27-degree threshold or 80 degrees Fahrenheit for us in America for a tropical cyclone development. And given the fact that the chances are going to increase, I see that being possible because what that is for is saying that we think that a tropical cyclone is going to develop within the next 2 to 3 days. So I agree with that statement there and think a potential tropical cyclone may be warranted by tomorrow.
And I do have. I do have. This actually goes into what I had a feeling for the general consensus for how the season would play out as with the heightened moisture in the Gulf Coast states. This does go into my theory that with the El Nino in play, we may see more brief spin up tropical storms, maybe even weak hurricanes along the along the Gulf Coast states, and this appears to be a setup that appears to be proving that. So
I can see that. That's very likely. I do notice on the
add something
that we are going to the northeast on radar or on satellite now. So that is now a change in direction, which is noting, which is going to change our forecast because right now the forecast was supposed to have it go east still. If it's going further north, its chance of its window will likely be shorter because it's going to emerge off of land later and then it's going to be even closer to land, so it'll have less water to interact with.
And also colder water if it keeps moving north, like it's the Carolina, it'll have less time.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was about the Allison. I don't think it will do like in Allison, like with the rainfall, but well, it really depends like how quickly it moves. Like if it's stalling between two
I want to check the
fronts.
rainfall forecast on this real quickly.
Yeah, and also maybe even 2019 in Milda.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make this quick
maybe.
announcement real quickly. We have 100 people in the stream right here, which let's go. I was not expecting that for a late night stream. Let's go ahead and like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I know we've experienced a few technical difficulties, but we're getting those.
Your mic's having a little issue. There we are.
Basically,
That's not
like
fun.
the stream,
Okay.
subscribe.
Yep. For sure.
Show some love and continue to support us in the weather community.
Yep. Let's go ahead and look at our. See, I'm trying to find.
So it shows that the excessive rainfall totals show like basically a moderate every single day.
Yeah.
Along the Gulf, like specifically Texas and Louisiana.
Yeah, that
honestly, I wouldn't rule out a high risk for excessive rainfall popping up.
I wouldn't rule out.
And speaking of that, the precipitation forecasts do actually talk about potentially needing a high risk for Thursday and going forward.
Tristan showed us an image of something. I don't know where.
Okay,
it's
I'm taking a
from.
look at this. I'm looking at the 12Z Euro.
Yeah.
I'm looking at rainfall exceeding 12 inches locally in parts of the Houston area around the bayou. What's the 18Z going for? A bit further to the east and a bit more widespread in Louisiana and Mississippi. So definitely a situation that we're going to want to pay attention to in the coming moments. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also not to mention the tornado threat that the SPC has tagged as well. So.
Yeah. But I still would say the most primary threat would probably be the flooding, just because of the location and the moisture the storm has to work with, more than anything.
Yeah.
They say that the most impactful of a storm, it's the storm surge.
But also, you don't forget about the.
What's up?
Go on, Pat.
Here's the thing: storm surge isn't going to be as big of a factor with this system, mainly because unless the system really starts to get its act together, it's not going to produce that much storm surge. Mainly because from what I'm seeing on satellite, it's not necessarily that large just yet, and the wind speeds would really need to max out in order for it to kind of get going with it. So.
Yeah, I see that. I only say that just because the environment where it's supposed to make landfall is such a low level, low to sea level, that it takes little for it to get going. That's why I mentioned that.
Yeah, Houston's
and
only,
the rainfall. Flooding is not going to be fun.
For sure. Yeah, Houston's only I believe 8 feet above sea level. So. Yeah.
Yeah,
and New Orleans is about 8 feet below sea level, so there's that.
That's
here's
also tides.
Hold on, Trevor. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just about to say. With New Orleans, they're only in a slight risk of this, so they're in the clear with this.
But
they
we can't rule anything out.
No,
we can't rule out anything that they might get included in this with the moderate risk.
All right, guys, let's go ahead.
Exactly.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and.
Also, I just wanted to mention. Sorry for cutting off.
What's up? All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's go. All right. Well, what's up, Brendan?
What's up, Brendan? What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hello.
We're on the we're on the stream right now. We're on the stream right now. We're talking about Invest 90L. It's a little bit chaotic for sure. We're getting new information as it's coming in. we're about to talk about models, but before
Brandon
we
left.
go ahead, Brendan, what are your thoughts on what's going on? Oh, Brendan's gone.
Yeah, he just left.
Okay, cool.
Probably tech problems.
Okay.
But
Hello.
yeah.
Sorry, I had a question.
Is gone too.
What's up?
What is the chance that Invest 90L will become a named system and might even do an inland intensification like what the European was showing?
Yeah, I was about to talk
the other
about
day.
that. I was about to talk about that. Thanks for the segue. So let's go ahead and briefly talk about that. I was looking at the European. I actually have it pulled up on the computer right now. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and show the 18Z European because that's the latest we have out. So here's what we got for right here. Basically, you having the system emerge off the Texas coast. Actually, it's a lot more kind of in agreement with that, mainly staying just offshore, right here, and before moving through and making landfall in parts of. I believe it's parts of eastern Texas as well, around the Houston area, before starting to emerge over parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. And you do have that low pressure system starting to emerge over here in parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and other parts of the deep south right here. There are a few...
Your mic's starting to go out again.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna use the other my computer mic going. So this stream has been a bit all over the place, but okay. So basically, the thing that I'm a bit skeptical about, I know a few other people are skeptical about this too, is some people are wondering if this system is overdoing the brown ocean effect aspect of it.
Yeah.
For those of you who do not know, brown ocean effect is basically I'm trying to find the word for it. It's the cycle where it's the process, rather. There you go. It's the process of excess rainfall and storm surge that a hurricane can use to either maintain its intensity or slow down its weakening. An infamous example of this was Hurricane Ida back in 2021. That was rather unfortunate for a lot of people in Louisiana and New Orleans. The Hurricane Ida was still a Category 3 hurricane by the time the outer eye wall moved into the city. And in this case, however, I don't think we're going to be seeing a situation like that. I feel like the European might be overdoing it a little bit. I think our best chance for it being a tropical storm is actually while it's over water and not while over Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. The other chance it potentially could have is maybe if it emerges off the Carolina coast and it taps into the Gulf Stream, it could potentially reorganize and redevelop. Another thing I'm watching right here is this going to be frontal or is it going to be tropical in nature? Because that's another thing I'm paying attention to, at least if it goes through the deep south. Is this going to be tropical or is it going to be frontal? Because tropical cyclones do not typically have fronts attached to them. They're warm core systems. They rely on the water temperatures as their source of energy. Mid-latitude cyclones use baroclinic forcing. My question is this going to become frontally attached? Because this is going to be impacted by a frontal boundary as well. I think we need to remember that, guys. So my question is this going to be more so frontal in nature, mid-latitude in nature, or is it going to be tropical in nature? And my gut is telling me the two shots it has of tropical development are either going to be over the Gulf region off the coast of Texas or when it emerges off this Carolina coast. That's my take on it right there. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. My thought process on this is if that verifies, I wouldn't be surprised if it does maintain the tropical aspects.
Yeah.
But it doesn't reach its peak in the Gulf, but instead in the open Atlantic Ocean.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, especially if
I
it
could
interacts
see
with the
that.
Gulf Stream.
Yeah. My thoughts with this is that I'm kind of in the middle of all this. The shots are in the Gulf and on the East Coast. The only thing that I wonder about is how that front to the north is going to interact with this tropical system, whether it be a depression, invest, storm, or even just extratropical. What I'm getting at with this is that it's going to kind of start out as tropical. It's going to kind of become a bit more of a mixed hybrid, and then it's going to kind of become more subtropical, maybe frontal once it's off of the East Coast, after it merges with the frontal system, according to what I'm seeing with the European.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tackle that second of your question, Pat. I questioned Tristan for this, if this would happen, and he gave me probably one of the blandest responses ever to it, saying that it could happen, but if it can get off its front, then yes, it can go. It can go subtropical, yes, but how long is it going to last until the shear rips it apart?
Is this when it gets
because
to
we have to put this
when it gets to the Atlantic?
Yes, because we have to put a bunch of effects into this. How long does it have? We'll get rid of it. We'll get rid of the shear, and will there be shear near anywhere near it? And can it get rid of its front? That is a question that we are a little bit worried about, that if it does.
Yeah.
Another thing too with shear, your shear is actually going to determine your structure of your storm. Typically, the higher amounts of shear turns these kind of systems into frontal systems, because when you were talking about baroclinic forcing, for everybody out there, wind shear is typically a driving factor in the baroclinic factors of these storms, which is why you always hear about wind shear and severe weather up north, but you don't hear much about wind shear in the south in the tropics. I'm looking at the forecast, and I'm seeing a lot of shear that's going to come in, and it's going to be a trough that kind of interacts with this area of low pressure. I think what the European is doing is not only just the brown ocean effect, it's also trying to suggest trough angle support before it gets ripped apart and becomes absorbed into that upper level trough.
Okay.
Which also, with that shear, that might enhance tornado production.
Yeah, especially in parts of... Yeah, especially... Let me see this. When it starts to ramp. Yeah, especially in parts of the Deep South. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we got some... All right, we got some questions in the audience right here I want to go over before we dive more into the models real quickly.
I just realized a possible scenario. I'm not sure, this might be just like throwing a curveball, but wondering if the trough angle, if it tears it to shreds, but kind of converts it from a tropical system into possibly a derecho type setup. I'm wondering if that could be a possibility.
I want to see more data before I jump to that conclusion.
I'm the same on that end. For now, I'm going to say no, because you don't know what you're going to see.
All right, Vimeo asks me at Pat's Path Predictor, do you think this will go over Houston? I think there's a good chance that it does. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this system isn't expected to take a southward jog towards Florida. This is asked by Dr. Checkmate. No, at this current point, it's expected to move through parts of the Deep South, through Mississippi and Alabama. In terms of Florida impacts, it looks like the Florida Panhandle and northern areas in Florida, like Jacksonville and Gainesville, could see some impacts from this. But for right now, that's where it's mainly stayed at. For right now. Some of the models were taking it through the Panhandle. I'm going to take a quick gander at those. Thanks for bringing that. See if that's going on. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll definitely pay attention to it. If you have any more questions, feel free to type them in. I'd be happy to take the time to answer them. If I haven't answered them, I do apologize. I'll go ahead and answer them in a second. But ultimately, we'll have to pay attention to this. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the latest, just the current storms. Invest 90L. Oh man, this is going to be pretty interesting. So the 0Z guidance right here, where where the low pressure system, according to the official estimate, is just west of the Rio Grande River. Although we have seen some evidence that there is some spin further to the the east-northeast, and off the Texas-Mexico, just east of the Texas-Mexico border. So we'll have to see how that pans out and how this will end up crossing into the Gulf, if it even does that, although there is a growing chance that it will. So here's our track models that we have for right here. The majority of the models, with the exception of the HMON and the HFBI right here, actually have this jerking further to the east and moving right off the Gulf Coast and potentially getting its act together before making landfall between Matagorda Bay and the Houston Bayou. It is then forecast to move through parts of the Deep South and to the Carolinas, and then move out very quickly into the Atlantic right here. Here is our intensity runs, and this is where things get a little dicey and interesting. Definitely a higher ceiling than what I would have originally wanted to see. So what the system, according to these models, is expected to quickly intensify by the time right as it gets off the coast over here, and the system is then forecasted to potentially reach tropical storm strength, according to several models, including the HWRF, the HMON, a few others, and then weaken below to tropical depression strength, and then re-intensify a tropical storm strength once it moves off the Carolina coast. So that's the situation that we are seeing for right here. And I know Trevor posted something on Twitter talking about that. Trevor, would you like to elaborate a bit further?
Yeah. So what I just posted on Twitter is the spaghetti models. Obviously intensities are what Pat just said. Tropical storm force winds. It's a rather interesting how it's supposed to impact so many states in the United States. Probably our first system, if not our first invest to hit the United States.
Anything else?
I got things after.
Not to forget, but we do have, potentially dangerous flash flooding, tornadoes with this system. Usually we do not see hail or wind with this, unless the SPC does it.
I just realized if it goes in a more northerly track, it could impact areas that is still recovering from the aftermath of Helene.
Oh, that's a good point.
That is a good point.
I might, if this continues on, I'm gonna have to make a special video for this.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. And then some ensembles apparently want to go into Canada once it goes into the open Atlantic. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got for this.
Yep.
Which it is definitely out there in terms of future. I'm wondering what this thing will do when it gets to Europe, but that's down the line.
All right. I do got two things real quick, Pat. One, LT is trying to come back into the stream, and second up, I'm looking at satellite presentation of our invest again. I'm noticing a convective burst on the southern half of the convection that was just fired up, and something that now this has me asking if there's going to be a low pressure relocation where the center is going to relocate to an area of new lower pressure, because I'm looking at the latest frame on cyclonic WX. I'm looking at the infrared and noticing this new blob of convection that's popped up. I want to say that is decently far south. You can barely see it on your screen, that purple blob.
Yeah, I see
it.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, this is right on the southern cusp of it.
Now I'm curious if it's going to try and do a relocation.
Let me see if I can pull it up on Tropical Tidbits.
And and I also another thing with potential with storm surge. Not expecting much with it, but tides is something we'd have to look into as well.
Oh man, I'm noticing it a little bit.
Yeah,
just south of the Rio Grande River.
Yeah, that southernmost blob is telling me that there might be something it's trying to broaden, but at the same time, it might be trying to relocate its center. And LT was saying that he thinks this.
I want more data first before I jump to that conclusion.
Yeah, I agree too. I just thought I'd bring it up because it's worth noting. It's the possibility.
Oh.
Yep. And then LT is saying that he thinks that this storm could reach 40 knots of intensity.
Oh. Let me pull him in here real quickly.
He's trying to I
All right,
think
LTW.
there we
Sorry
go.
about that. What? Go. You were talking intensity. What's up?
Yeah, I was talking 40 knots due to the fact that even though it's probably gonna be short lived, if it kind of like that's like my peak intensity. I'm thinking it's not really. I think it's gonna be like 40, 45 miles an hour.
Okay.
Just due to the fact we don't know the speed of it. It could be slow, it could be quick. If it's quick, then it's probably gonna be 35 to 40 miles an hour. But if it's slow, it could be 45 to 50. Because
I
we
agree with
don't
LT
know.
100% on that. I will also add on to that I think there's about a 10% chance of like we see some small rapid intensification. Now, I'm not saying this will be a hurricane or any of that.
Absolutely not.
No,
Rapid
no,
intensification. Oh, no.
Far
Rapid
from a
intensification
hurricane.
is just saying I see about 35 miles an hour of change possible.
Yeah.
Because currently we have 20 miles an hour in the next 24 hours. A 10% chance that we could be up to 55 miles an hour at the most.
All right. Vimeo
So
is
that is
asking which
possible.
parts do you think that will receive the heaviest rainfall totals? Sorry to cut you off, Logan. But I wanted to go ahead and answer that very quickly. I think it's going to be anywhere from Matagorda Bay throughout parts of southern Louisiana and even as far north as potentially Shreveport is where they'll get the heaviest rain, in my opinion, based on what I'm seeing so far. Go ahead, Logan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my thoughts on that is pretty much that. But if it takes a more northerly trek inland, then I could see some extra rain being squeezed out in the lower Appalachians, just like what happened with Helene.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Logan. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was almost done with my thought anyways. Yeah,
All right,
I'm saying I
go
see a 10% chance that this could blow up in intensity, given the fact that the waters are decently warm. When looking at sea surface temperature analysis just off the coast of Texas, I'm going to pull up Cyclonic WX here because I can get into the Gulf. Just a second here.
Cyclonic WX.
I'm noticing about 28 to 29 degrees Celsius just off the coast of Texas, with some warmer waters just barely off the coast of Louisiana. So the waters are warm enough for that to be a possibility. So I've taken that into consideration, given the fact that the waters are warm enough for something to just burst.
yeah, and that's why I'm saying at a extreme ceiling, I'm not ruling out a 2019 Barry type situation.
Yeah, that's safe to say.
But that's low. That's like 75 hurricane. So I'm
Mhm.
not saying it will go that route, but I'm not ruling it out. But also I did pull up moon phases, and we just got out of the new moon, so we're waxing crescent, and we will likely be in waxing crescent throughout the life of the storm, so tides won't have much of an impact.
Okay.
That's really good.
Yeah,
That's good.
I'm looking at water temperatures across the Gulf right now.
Yeah.
Water temperatures where this system's going to be at is about 29 degrees Celsius. That's 84 degrees Fahrenheit. For those living in Texas, Louisiana, don't use the metric system. That is very, very, very warm. And given what we're the kind of explosive explosive stuff we are seeing tonight, in terms of convection, this system has a shot of potentially organizing very quickly, especially if it uses the geography of the Texas coast to its advantage. And what I mean by that is sometimes a vorticity can use geography to spin up and potentially tighten a bit. This happens in the Bay of Campeche from time to time, and the area from Houston to the Rio Grande River definitely is also kind of known for that as well. I'm not 100% sure how much in question that will do, but we'll definitely have to pay attention to it. Okay, we have another question right here. Based off the new model data, how much rain do you think Houston proper will see? I don't know. It might be too early to say, and there isn't enough confidence to say for sure. Well, let's take a quick gander. We looked at the European earlier for around the Houston area. Let's see. Are there any other models that we can take a look at? I'll just. Yeah.
Yeah, Houston. I'm definitely not ruling out up to a foot.
Absolutely I was gonna say a half foot to a foot of rain is. That seems to be our window of precipitation for the Houston Metro.
I know it's a bit far, depending on like how north or east it goes.
Yeah, this is
but
not definitive.
I not rule out like maybe 6 inches in New Orleans.
Oh, hey, look, Tristan's in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah, and also, I don't expect any Waffle Houses to shut down during this, but that doesn't mean to lower your guard.
What I do hope though is people do like the stream and subscribe to the channel if they are new. The goal, as always, is to get more people engaged with whether you are watching this from a Waffle House or not. If you are watching this from a Waffle House, I hope the bacon is good because I know I really like that. But anyway. Yeah, thank you very much,
Pat, I've got some updates regarding this low pressure system.
What's up?
So first up, I did see something Kristen did say about it taking the northeast jog. We did mention that.
Yep.
I'm looking at this is called Earth Null School, which I use, which I actually learned about in meteorology classes.
Okay.
It's suggesting that a central area of pressure is in Texas. About it's hard to say the location's not telling me, but a little further to the north than we thought.
Okay.
And then on top of that too, I looked at the 850 millibar temperatures and 500 millibar temperatures. This system is already considered a warm core system because its inner circulation is warmer than the outside environment. So this thing is already a warm core system.
Hey, yeah, that's not good. Where, like you said, it's where it's potentially going to Texas, and you said it's potentially in Texas, right?
Yeah. You search up earthnullschool.net.
Right.
I can walk you through this.
Yeah,
It's actually probably going to become your best friend.
All right, why don't you go
basically,
ahead? I'm going to turn the stream off here, and why don't you go ahead and share your screen for the audience right here? I'm going to go ahead and shift over to the
it's going to be on my.
All right.
All right. Yeah, because I have this. Oh, wait, I know what I can. Give me 2 seconds here.
Yeah, take your time.
I'm gonna get the site loaded up, and then.
What is the site again?
Oh,
it's earthnullschool.net. So I got that, and here's what I'm gonna do. Alrighty.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh.
Yeah, I just got that set up. So let me know if you guys can see my screen. Should take a second.
There you go. Yep, we got it.
Yep, you see it.
Let's see. We got it. Okay. Alrighty. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get 850 millibars going. Right. I'm gonna get my temps. So I'm gonna first go about here. Wait for it to load in.
Oh, there it is.
I did notice that the yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of it here. I looked at, I believe it was the 500 millibars.
Yep.
You can see here that the environment of the lower pressure is actually warmer.
Oh, geez, the quality.
Yeah, you can see that it's warmer. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
I do apologize about that. Yeah. I do need to get a phone. I do need to get a new phone. Okay. Basically, yeah. Basically, the environment is warmer inside the central area of pressure than it was outside of the area of low pressure. I think it was in here. Yeah, at 700 millibars up here into Texas. I'm going to zoom in a bit here. It's a little bit further north than we expected.
Okay.
I'm sure you can see it. That's the northern area of spin there. And then for reference, I'm going to zoom right back out. You see that it's 10.3 degrees Celsius, or about 50 degrees Fahrenheit at 700. This is the temperatures at 700 millibars.
Okay. All right.
And then you can see that it is at 700 millibars. It's not quite as warm. It's kind of hybrided, but closer to the surface, I did notice that there are areas that are warmer in the area of lower pressure than environment around it.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I got it almost pulled up. I'm zooming in real quick. Oh, I see it.
There. Yep.
Wait a minute. I'm seeing.
I'm going to stop sharing my screen now.
I'm seeing 2 distinct areas actually. Right here.
Yeah, I did notice the other one, but the other one seems much weaker, and that is also suggesting evidence that I think this thing might be doing a center relocation.
All right, so is a little bit more information. That is definitely an update for sure.
Yep.
We're looking at, for those tuning in, we're looking at 2 distinct areas of rotation. The first one is a much stronger area further to the north. I believe this is in Zapata County in Texas. And the second one is south of the Rio Grande River. What's up?
What? You might consider that 3. You got the 2 there. And then if you go to the west a little bit, you notice a little kink in the flow of the wind. Mm-hmm. You might be able to consider that too.
Yeah, this is more... this needs.
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah, what this is telling me is this needs more time to consolidate. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of obvious. Depending on what happens over the next few hours will be determinant on what happens going forward. But...
I feel like what's shocking is how quickly it went up to a pretty good chance for development. Beginning of the day, it was at like a 0-20, if I remember. And like I'm sitting here like at like midnight right now, and it's at a 50-50 with 90L.
All right.
Like how?
Okay. All right, guys. Sorry to cut you off, but this, I'm looking at all the layers right here, and none of these are aligned. So the surface is about, I'd say, it just crossed the U.S.-Mexico border in parts of southern Texas right here. That's where I'm looking at it. Let me see. Okay, let me just go ahead and share my screen.
That might be causing the areas of flotation is the fact that it's not vertically aligned, which is what you want for tropical systems. Yeah. That might be why you're seeing the areas of rotation. And in the chat, Tristan's saying something about loose nature of the storm and moisture, and there's a slight risk of tornadoes along the Gulf Coast, and don't be surprised if watching.
All right. Okay.
Thank you for that, Tristan.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I was just looking at that because, you know, I don't necessarily think the system's
they do have a
further
to the flash flood walk.
Yeah, because my current
those are rare, by the way, to see.
I don't think the system's moving. Is shifting that far to the north just yet? We don't have enough evidence. What we need is 1,850 and 700 to stack before we jump, or at least get closer to that before we jump to any conclusions. So ultimately, this is a situation that's going to need to evolve, and it's definitely a situation we're going to need to pay attention to. But I will tell you this, though, as we kind of recap all of this that we found, it's been a bit of a chaotic stream. I do apologize. But to kind of recap everything, number 1, convection galore. We're seeing a lot of convection really blowing up across parts of the storm that I am very concerned about. Will it mean a future situation unfolds? I don't know. We'll have to pay attention to it. That's number 1. Number 2, the system is still far from organized despite its impressive satellite appearance. It's far from organized right now. So what this system needs is time to organize. What's up?
This is what we classify as eye candy.
Yes.
Basically, it looks really good, but it's not actually properly organized.
Yeah.
Basically, like pretty exterior, ugly interior. Got it.
He's basically putting makeup on a pig, pretty much. And to those who have pigs and to those who love pigs, please do not take that as an insult. I have 3 French bulldogs that snore like pigs. So
to be fair, to be fair, I like my pigs on the smoker. So,
Well, to be fair to Rebel and Rocky, you're snoring, but okay, I digress. I'm gonna stop with the jokes. Yeah, it's basically.
I did put the Earth Null School link in the VC in the stage chat. So.
All right, I searched it up, by the way, too. So, yeah. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right here. So ultimately, I'm not. So ultimately, what I'm kind of the conclusion I'm jumping to right now is, I think the NHC is going to increase the chances for development. I think they will in the next hour and a half. But until we see the system approach water, we don't know what it's going to do. So, for right now, the main
but
threat is
considering it
flooding.
is further north than we expected, there's a possibility it may not even enter water at all.
Well, there's also the possibility, too, that it's doing a center relocation, as evident of multiple circulations.
Yes. Right now, we need more concrete proof. And in order for a center to relocate, you need the mid latitude or the low latitude to kind of be the more dominant one of the two for things to start getting into notion. But all right, so what I will say though is, if this system continues the way it's going and it continues to get yanked further to the east, we're in for a wild ride. If it moves and stays just off the shore, we are still in for a wild ride. And we had and kind of my final thoughts for tonight are, we're going to need to pay attention to it. It's definitely something we're going to want to take seriously, regardless of development or not. And it's definitely something that we need to continue to keep you updated on, because we got a lot that's going on all over the place.
Yeah.
And my last thought is to get prepared and to be ready for this, regardless of where it goes. What is everybody else's final thoughts?
Just things real quick. I did notice on satellite that it did just take a jog to the east-southeast, and people are noting that in chat. And also, I do think that this thing is going to increase its probabilities. I think we're going to go up to a 70% chance on both 48 hours and 7 days out for this system to develop.
All right.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 70, 80.
Yeah, that's possible.
Caesar Warning.
Yeah, thanks.
So that means that if they actually do go either 70 or 78, then I think as soon as it leaves Mexico or Texas to get into the Gulf, it's probably gonna become a depression or a PTC.
Yeah, I agree.
As soon as it sets onto the Gulf, it'll either become a PTC or a depression.
Yeah, I agree. We still do need more concrete proof, though. I'm also curious what the NHC advisory is going to note, because that's going to be out in about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what they're going to say.
And this is extremely close to land.
Yep.
100%.
The operator has a northeast jog, but the satellite has a southeast jog. Signs of the center not being aligned. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So would that mean a center relocation probable?
Well, it's hard to tell.
Hard to tell for right now.
If it was on the radar, if it was on the radar going northeast, it would actually suggest it would be going northeast more than anything, because the radar is going to have a lower level circulation being noted, as opposed to satellite. You're going to see upper level circulation, because one's going from the bottom, one's coming from the top.
Yeah. All right. Are there any other final thoughts from you guys?
Nope.
Nope.
Nothing at this time.
All right.
It's stacked because of the angle of the Texas coast. Some storms have used land angles to tighten their low-level center.
Okay.
Okay, that's interesting.
All right.
But also note that this is not the only invest currently, but it is the only invest that is a threat to land.
Absolutely.
We have 3 other invests in the Pacific.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for coming on the stream. I know it was a little janky. We had some problems throughout it, but definitely a good step for sure, getting back into Tropics streaming. We had over 100 concurrent viewers coming on at one point, which for the first stream back for Tropics in June, that's a big number. And thank you very much for all of you tuned in. Avimio, you have a question for me. What areas do you think should be watching this closely? Southeast Texas, most of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas.
Basically, Dixie.
I'd say even southern. I'd say even Tennessee and Virginia.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd also say don't be surprised if something changes for the East Coast
100%.
if models go differently too.
Yep.
And
So-
for Florida too, if this thing decides to shift southward for whatever reason.
New
Or
Orleans,
stays
yes.
north.
100% New Orleans.
Basically, if you're in Texas and Northeast, you should be on high alert.
Yeah. I would also, also, the chat's reminding me about Florida. Yeah, I would say anywhere from Gainesville north, you're going to want to watch this. So
basically, the whole Dixie hour should be watching this.
Yeah, exactly. All right. If that's all, then we're going to go ahead and close the stream out right here. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I know it was really late. You guys you really showed out, and if you're down for it, I'd like to do this again tomorrow. Probably about the same time frame, unless we have more information to go over. But I'd like to do this again tomorrow night, if that's okay with you, with everybody here in this call and everybody in the stream.
I mean, I'm definitely down for it. Tomorrow I do have tomorrow I do have my birthday to deal with, but beyond that, that's about it.
Happy
Happy early
birthday.
birthday, dude.
Yeah, we could call it the Earth Central birthday stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
all right, guys. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and close it for the night. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. The goal, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather. If you'd like to help out and hang out, the Storms 9 Discord server is in the pinned chat, and it's also the link in the description down below. So, with that being said, have a wonderful evening, guys.